Welcome to the pre-show.
Hey, folks.
You are officially in the pre-show.
Oh,
Hello, pre-show.
hi, pre-show, folks.
Welcome to a Buffalo Sabres streaming
Yeah.
show of Smalltalk with
Yeah.
Matt and John.
Yeah, thanks for watching the show, watching us at the same time.
Yeah. If
Who
you
d-
can't find the game on the cable, which is by design, you can watch us, and we'll be providing commentary as we watch the, monitor on our phones.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is adjust your irises.
Look at that iris.
QR code. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I can see you getting crazy with the QR codes in a good way.
Commercials do that now.
Yeah.
There'll be a commercial, and then there'll be a QR code in the corner. It takes you to a coupon.
I guess you got to think because, the only thing with the QR code is if it's on your screen on your phone, you use your phone to scan, so you can't really scan a QR code that's on your phone screen.
Okay. All right, so. Are you ready to start the show, gentlemen?
We are ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to reset.
All right.
When I reset the timer and it says on the air, you are on the air, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Here we go.
Hello, welcome to another show of Small Talk with Matt and John.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. I know you're getting double thrills. You're watching the Sabres game and watching us at the same time. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and in the modern day, your attention is valuable, so thank you for paying
Yeah.
attention to us
Yeah.
while the rest of the world spins in chaos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we got an exciting show today. Well, man, you're going to tell us about your new article.
Yeah. So my new article in the Buffalo Contrarian, which
Ah.
is this new alternative newspaper that I'm proud to call myself a beat writer. So I've written
cool.
a story here about the city budget.
Yeah. He has a
Um,
graph in there.
Yeah, we can talk about the Buffalo Contrarian and my hopes and dreams for that venture.
Cool.
Can you leave a copy of that here so people can see
Yes,
it?
I was actually hoping to make Think Twice Radio one of the official delivery points.
Oh,
because
that's
I'm
cool.
also
That's cool.
a paper boy, so
Yeah.
I think it fits in the spirit of Think Twice Radio of kind of providing commentary, contrarian takes on local politics.
And I actually hope someday you get advertisers, like people
Yeah.
in a restaurant. You put,
Because right now this is my first, so it's free. But I'm saying that we should make our paper free or best offer.
yeah,
And yeah, you can go to. We have a link that you can go to support it. We have a Substack, and yeah, you can mail donations. You can donate at our QR code. We have a QR code on the back of our newspaper where you can scan and donate
yeah,
to help support us because we're a bunch of starving artists. And
Yeah.
it actually brings me good because my article that I wrote for the Buffalo Contrarian was about the city budget.
Oh,
And
cool.
I actually just came from the city budget public hearing where
Yeah.
the city's corporation council harassed me and
Oh.
after my comment, and they told me that I shouldn't be. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Oh,
And so that's the type of reporting you're going to get from the Buffalo Contrarian. We're going to get very edgy,
Yeah.
very in-your-face political.
Whoa.
I think they call it gonzo journalism of
Yeah.
first-person point of view. So
whoa,
right now we're just paper, but
yeah.
paper's the future. I think that's what we
Yeah,
tell
paper.
ourselves.
Yeah, paper is the future, folks, and perhaps maybe someday they will have my cartoons in it. Because
Yeah.
as you all know, I am a hilarious person, and I have funny cartoons.
So right now we're just. And this is the fifth print. So spring 2026. This is the fifth print. And yeah, I think I'd love to. One of the ideas I'd have is right now it's just politics, but I'd love to have a actual political cartoon section.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking about a sports page.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a crossword puzzle and just Now that right now it's just a bunch of articles, which is great, but I think there's room for improvement. So if you read our articles, be open to your any sort of political cartoons.
Yeah, yeah. I do have some. Ready to go, but yeah.
I think we're trying to make our paper contrarian. So we want to expose ourselves to loons on the left and the right and kind of put everybody's opinion out there for people to read. Because I think one of the problems with the modern news economy is people are so in their silos.
Yeah.
And we have Nick Swold here joining
Hey,
us. So
Nick.
thank you, Nick Swold, for tuning in. The Octonauts, 20 years since the first book.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're our most loyal viewer, and we appreciate Nick's World.
Yeah, good old Nick's World.
With his wonderful commentary on our
Yeah.
topic. So let us
Yeah.
know, Nick's World, if you'd like to see
Yeah.
anything in the Buffalo Contrarian.
Yeah. So wait, Nick's World. Are you from England? I'm assuming he's from
Hey,
England.
where's Nick's World from?
I was
Nick's
assuming
World of
that-
Mystical Wonder 8509, the username.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of our best viewers. Yeah, the Octonauts.
Yeah.
20 years since the first book.
Yeah.
And it's 2026 now, so it's like, yeah, it's 20 years since a lot of things.
Oh, jeez. It doesn't seem. My God, to me, 2006 seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we're in this. We're definitely in a new era for sure.
Yeah, definitely are. Yeah, new like something. Yeah, we recently had.
Yeah, what's keeping you up at night these days?
Keeps me up at. Oh, jeez.
Uh,
I'm depressed about the war,
which is why you're getting into trying to get into mushrooms.
growing them. Yeah.
I think there's emerging thought that all elected leaders should be required to do mushrooms before taking office.
I know. I know. Actually, I heard that recently Trump did sign. He did something like with Joe Rogan where it was some pro mushroom
Show.
thing or show or like he might have good
Well, yeah,
legislation.
because mushrooms are just plants. So if you're pro mushroom, you're just pro plants. So
I'm sure a mushroom person. Well, as a mycologist, I would say it's a fungus, and they have really unique networks of.
Are fungus the aliens?
They are unique between. They're fascinating. They're between like plants and animals, and they help. They help plants communicate with each other.
Yeah, they have networks, mycelial networks where kind of like our internet. They have like their own internet where they can talk to each other via their networks underground.
Like they'll like cooperate with like say a tree. Its roots can't go down super deep, but it will touch with the roots of a mycelium fungus, and it exchanges nutrition.
And actually, this past about 2 weeks ago, we had a gamelan show at the Kaz on Seneca Street.
I'm sorry.
So we were writing this song, or we were playing the song called Puspawarna, which was actually on the Voyager's 1977 Golden Record. So there's actually a gamelan song, Puspawarna. And Puspawarna is about colorful flowers.
Yeah.
And one of the people in our group who's from Java was explaining what the lyrics of the song meant. And she was, essentially the song's about every type of flower, but she was saying the pre-Javanese people, essentially the indigenous people of Java, kind of similar to Native Americans in that they believed like everything had spirits.
Yeah.
So actually their language, every single thing had its own word. So for example, maple tree, we call it a maple tree or a maple tree leaf. They would actually have different words for the maple tree leaf would be a different word than the maple tree itself, the stem.
Yeah.
And so like each part of every plant has its own word because they believe kind of like your Gnostics take of everything has a spirit.
Yeah.
And that was before kind of now it's a very Muslim and I don't know if it's Christian country, but their indigenous people believe similar to the Gnostics that everything had a spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Aunt Marianne jumping on the Kaz, an old stomping ground. So I'm curious. I think this Kaz used to be a bank, but yeah, it was like it's a space on Seneca where it's a music studio or it's like a music venue, but I think it used to be a bank, so it was a cool place.
What, the Cavs?
To play? Yeah, the Kaz. It's on Seneca Street.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it used to be a bank. So
is it a bar now?
no, it's just a music space
Oh,
in a
interesting.
former
Okay,
bank. So
yeah.
it's kind of a cool space. They have a stage on one side, and then there's a viewing gallery up top. It's by the Seneca's Shay.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, the Gnostics too. They were a pretty amazing group of people. Yeah. I don't know but they did have this whole different idea about the material world being kind of a corrupt version of
I think that's
reality.
some theories of why Christianity and the Abrahamic religions are so powerful. Is just believe in this one God. There's this one God in the sky, and it's very simple.
Yeah.
It's part of the attraction of it is it's simple to understand versus like a Gnostic or an indigenous Javanese perspective might be like everything has a spirit. Everything is different. I think you said the Gnostics actually believe that each person had their own relationship with their own gods.
Yeah, well, they have the Gnostic ones from the Nag Hammadi. I know they had this idea. They had a very Platonic or a Platonistic idea of like that this reality is like just a projection or a shadow of the truer reality. This reality was made by like a lesser being,
Yeah.
and it's not as good as the actual reality. I don't think they weren't as much animists. They weren't as much like where everything's alive kind of stuff,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. So the Gnostics, it was like basically they thought basically there was the supreme reality, the monad, and then it's called syzygism. It thought of itself, and they created another being.
So kind of like the theory that we're just in a simulation, similar to that kind of.
Kind of like basically what eventually what happened is the monad it would think of itself, and that would become another self, and that self would think of something else, but it would create a female version of itself. And it did this until but it would be like, what would be called faith? What would be called intuition? What would be called wisdom? Oh, until eventually it made an eon called Sophia, which was wisdom. This was the thing.
I think Sophia is the name of one of the AI models, which is a little creepy a bit.
Also, my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah,
but in this particular instance, Sophia, what she did is she sought to create without a creator. So she wanted to
wonderful snacks.
Richard,
Yeah. Thank you, executive producer Wicca.
Yeah.
We have a nice bowl of grapes.
Ooh,
and
grapes. Yeah.
I don't know what these are. Little nuts. So yeah, grab your,
Yeah.
take the shotgun out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And
Grab
spit out your pills.
yeah,
Get yourself a nice tray of hors d'oeuvres and
yeah.
charcuterie.
And eat some of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and enjoy.
Yeah.
As we casually talk about the Gnostics.
So Sophia, what she tried to do is she wanted to create without the approval of the creator, which was considered a that was like she tried to create without outside on her own, outside of this system of a male beginning a female, then a female beginning a male.
Are there types of animals that they is it seahorses? Well, seahorses the males get pregnant.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy how that works. Of how in nature it's one way, but then certain species. How did the male seahorse just come to get pregnant?
Good for him. Yeah, he just. I guess he had a big opening in its body. He said, "Hey, little fry, you can go and stay in your belly and stuff."
Yeah. And then there's some species that they can self-replicate.
Yeah. And the thing is with Sophia, what she did, it was described as an abortion. So it was like a kind of a crime against nature. So she created this abortion being. And this being then looked at the universe and it said, I am the only God. It thought that it was the only God, and then it created this universe that we live in, according to the Gnostics. So we're in that universe.
I see.
But the thing is, we have sparks of good stuff in us, of like the true nature of the divine in us that we have to learn about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've been researching Jesus lately.
Okay.
So it's kind of related to the wars and realizing how much the wars are like religion based. So I started interesting. What do the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians, what do they all believe? But I didn't realize Jesus, he's a real poet. He really talked in parables, which is part of his power.
Oh, and the Muslims too, they revere Jesus.
Yeah, they believe that Jesus is a prophet.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because then even Jesus, he kind of said that he was not claiming, but the idea that he was the son of, or he was the king of, he was the, essentially at that time the Roman emperor had all the power.
Yeah.
So to think that you were the son of the king, or you were the powerful one, was a pretty blasphemous statement at the time.
What runs through my head is sometimes, could that just have been a turn of phrase? Could he just have been maybe not? Maybe he was just saying "Hey, I'm a son of God,"
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to understand. But just crazy how this guy Jesus was a person, and then here we are 2,000 plus years later, and we're just reenacting his random dinner.
Yeah. And I really don't believe a lot of the conspiracy theories people have. It was made up by this other religion. It's really this pagan version. I think he was a genuine guy. He genuinely did exist. I don't think it was created or it was like some kind of scam or something. He definitely, that's an amazing thing. Like, was he crucified? Did he actually die on the cross? But there's people who say he was crucified, but he lived through it, and
I think it's well known that he's an actual historical figure. So I think the question where I'm curious is how does right after he dies, how do you have all these people claiming that they saw him rise from the dead, and then
yeah,
so I was just curious because it's kind of history in a bit too.
Yeah.
He was kind of a radical. A lot of the things there's this channel that they read the Bible verses and he talks about hypocrites all the time, and you could kind of plug a lot. He talks about the people in power being hypocrites, and a lot of it is still relevant today because the people running our our wars, our cities into the ground are hypocrites in a way. So a lot of his things talk about how to deal with them.
Yeah, it was just, I am glad that he is at the center, even though it's so bizarre that we don't really follow what he, in a Christian society, we're very violent. It's so bizarre. And we're so the opposite of everything he preached. Like, he kind of preached kind of a communist kind of ideas that is like, when you say that, it drives people insane, but it's true.
I think a lot of his philosophy is still radical today, but it's still relevant too when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh. But
we have a comment. He thought you meant Cazenovia Park, which is the park in South Buffalo. Which is actually part of the city's Olmsted Park system, because the city of Buffalo had the most famous landscape architect, Frederick Law Olmsted, who designed Central Park in New York City. He actually designed the city of Buffalo's park system, and Kaz Park. It's kind of a jewel, one of the jewels of it, but doesn't get the credit. Actually, one of the articles I wrote for the Contrarian is on public comment for the fully restoring Humboldt Parkway. Do you know about Humboldt Parkway?
You know what? That would be great if we did, pave over the 33, or not pave over it, make it into a park area again.
Yeah, because essentially it was originally the Humboldt Parkway was the largest parkway in the system.
I would like to see that.
It was like I don't know how wide it was, like 2 miles long and very wide.
Yeah.
And essentially they destroyed it and paved it over to make the highway. So the Kensington Expressway now is where the Humboldt Parkway. The reason that land is so straight is because it used to be just all oak trees.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that he remembers when he was a kid driving his car along the parkway, seeing people riding horses. There was apparently a horse barn. So yeah, there's a contingent of us that want to make that back again. Right now, the Queen City Ford, the New York State Department of Transportation, they're doing listening sessions where they're taking public input. So we made the site queencitycomment.com. So go to queencitycomment.com and make your comment. So if you want Humboldt fully restored, you can go to queencitycomment.com.
I do. I would not mind just driving like somewhere else, just to have a park.
Yeah.
We don't have to be driving through the middle of everything.
Yeah. And the idea is that Buffalo's part of Olmsted's design was a city and a park, but actually Buffalo has this radial street system. So actually downtown by Niagara Square, there's that circle, and then there's a bunch of radials that go off of that circle. So Clinton, Clinton, Broadway, Broadway, Seneca, William, Genesee. They're all streets that radiate out from City Hall. So actually, those radials could handle a lot of the traffic.
Yeah. Now, this is something I always heard too. I believe it too. Wasn't it originally the reason they put the 33 in there? Was it another way of just getting a dig at the brothers? It kind of like there's an African American community, and they were just like, the heck with it.
Kind of. So, but
it's not good. It makes me angry.
Yeah, during this, I think, the 50s when they were building it. This was after the World War II.
Yeah.
So this was when they were, giving all the GIs the bills to get houses. So they were building houses in the suburbs, and at the same time they were, giving loans to people to move out to the suburbs, and then they knew they were going to build the highway, so they sold the houses to predominantly black families. Yeah. So eventually said, move to this house, and these people were getting great deals on houses by the Humboldt Parkway. Little did they know that the plan was to put a highway there. I call the Kensington Expressway, it's kind of the Berlin Wall of Buffalo. Yeah. It divides Buffalo physically. It's not a wall that it goes up, but it's actually this trench in the ground that if you want to go from one side to the other, you kind of, it's an entrenchment, but also divides our city, suburbans, because it allows people to live in the suburbs and get to the city, and vice versa. So it kind of divides the city, white and black, rich and poor, similar to the Berlin Wall. So I think that's kind of why I want to see it restored. And also, I just want to ride a horse on Humboldt Parkway. I want to,
that'd be nice. Yeah.
Pick up your article of the Buffalo Contrarian, where I have an article in there about the whole pre-EIS scoping process, which is the process.
Yeah.
Essentially, the government broke their own rules, got sued, and now they're at square one. So kind of Candyland, they got a slide to go back to square one. So now is the time to make our comments.
Yeah.
We want to get 6,000 comments, which would set a new
Gosh
record.
darn it. Yeah. Oh. Here's another thing. Okay, talking about like things like, unfortunately, systemic prejudice and stuff. Now, the other week, we talked about Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
But she was like helped liberate a lot of people. But somebody I didn't have time to mention was a guy named Moses Dickerson. Now, basically, when you think about the Civil War, if the Civil War never happened, what would have happened is there would have been another massive slave insurrection. That would, if the Civil War never happened. He was a freed black man who the fun thing is he was a steamboat barber.
Huh.
Which
a
is
shrimp boat captain.
Yeah, he was a barber. Yeah, on a shipboat, and he would go to the South. And he would help liberate like the different people from the South, and also, but he had a plan. He had a very detailed plan, like a 10-year plan of having a massive like uprising, like planned. Like he was secretly, he got a council of 11 other guys. They call themselves the Knights of Liberty. And they went throughout the country and they formed groups of blacks that could actually really fight and fight very well. And their plan was to, at a certain point, they were going to have an actual revolution. Now, people who know about the Civil War are like, oh, John Brown did that. Like, yeah, that's true. He had actually interacted with John Brown. John Brown is like he was a slave rebellion guy. That caused a big brouhaha in the South.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because history.
Yeah.
Right, we get this book and you read this book from start to finish, but that's not how it had to play out. So it's interesting. This sounds like a very like revisionist history of what if the South won the Civil War?
Yeah.
What would our reality look like? That's just one event.
Yeah.
So I think there's the butterfly effect. Yeah, what if that happened?
Yeah.
What else happens?
But
there probably is some sort of slave uprising within the South. At some
but
point.
the thing is, he was ready. They were ready to go to war and have this big uprising. Then they could see that the Civil War is going to happen. They could see it, like don't do it. Which is actually, to me, I thought was very intelligent. And we did is he enlisted. And he took his networks of already trained like soldiers and spies, and they joined and they helped. And they helped do a lot of behind enemy line stuff, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. And he was like Harriet Tubman. He worked with the North, and he got a lot of honors and stuff. But he's just an interesting guy. He's a Freemason. He was if you joined it, you have to do all this Masonic stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really trippy, kind of cult stuff to way they knight you and they have these ceremonies,
rituals,
and there's different signs that they had, like when they do stuff in secret, so they would be like, oh yes, brother, they would have secret Masonic signs and things.
Was there anything about what would the world look like today? It sounds like these groups sounds very similar to all the resistance groups across the world very kind of like guerrilla warfare. They have the advantage almost because they're fight to the death versus an invader really won't. So it's curious what to think. Yeah, how much different our world is because you get history books and you think of history as this one linear thing, but right now it's 2026. We don't know what the future is going to be like. But when you read a history book in 2050, it's going to be like, oh yeah, this is how history went when actually it's kind of a lot more sporadic than that. And then even the history books, you only get one perspective on the history.
But it was just pretty interesting. So that was one character that I was that I've been reading about lately. But also, let's talk about evil people.
Okay.
Okay, this is totally different. There is this evil guy from Britain who I've been like listening to about and like reading up on. His name was Jimmy Savile. Nick's World, you might know him.
What do you think of the quote that the what is it, the heart of evils? Evil runs through the heart of all men.
Yeah,
So the idea that we're all evil is like kind of profound.
I think we're all not the best we could be. I would say
we all contain
evil.
elements of evil, right? So it's somehow, if it was there's evil people over there doing evil things. Let's stop them and we'll fix things. But it's actually right. We're all kind of gradient. There's a spectrum of evil, right? There's some people that are super evil and no good.
Yeah.
Some people that are mixed, and Mother Teresa and Jesus were all good, very little evil.
Well, I kind of get down on the Western society where we have like original sin and all that, like the child, all because like some weird ideas about anime. I guess we're all kind of rotten. Humans, we got some rotten tendencies.
Yeah, I think even as I've gone to church a couple times lately.
No.
That's the kind of thing as somebody that's returning is like. There's the insistence of you are naturally inherently evil, naturally inherently bad. Where I kind of think that people, when you're born, right, a baby is inherently perfect and pure.
Yeah.
Then over time they become maybe evil. But at birth, the idea that a child is evil. But I think also just the way that the Bible is talking about, it's like very philosophically. So the idea that humans are as a species inherently evil a bit or not perfect is maybe part of our nature. So maybe they're not talking about each person specifically is bad. But maybe it's a way of saying that the human condition.
Yeah.
There's a part of us.
We gotta eat meat. We gotta.
Well, that's the part is we've evolved, right? So being completely pure and giving is good was probably not a way to survive when we were in this world where there was scarcity of resources, of food, shelter. So part of surviving in that day was your ability to fight and conquer other people. Or it's great to. Right, there's the quote: "You'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war." It's kind of the quote of like you can be all good and humble, but if somebody comes to invade you and you can't defend yourself, all your mantras and kumbaya is kind of you need to be able to be evil or to be violent if provoked.
It's like you read about the Vikings. Who, those were a horrible group of people. They would go to farmers and kill them all, like peasants and farmers, and just do terrible things. To them.
But there's something about the old Viking lifestyle, the idea that you're just traveling around, pillaging, looting, exploring.
Exploring. That's a fascinating thing that they explore.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things the modern human, we're robbed of our ability to explore Earth, right?
Yeah.
Except for Antarctica. Antarctica's. They just tell us not to go there, but
we could go.
In the deep oceans, so that it's harder to explore because before you could just kind of go on a path. Oh no, it's been on this path before, but
one thing I've been watching a lot lately too, which if you're potential mountain climbers out there, I'm telling you, don't do it. Sorry, mountain climbers, but I've been watching about what was it, the Everest. Been watching these things, and basically the Everest right now, if you have $200,000, you could go to the Everest and climb the Everest. But it's something like if you were rich, you could. And basically, what happens is the Sherpas help you go up the Mount Everest. But what's happening there? And a lot of it's like these people, it's like a big ego thing. Like, oh, I'm a climber. I'm going to challenge
kind of like
this.
the rich people that are going to space and calling themselves astronauts.
Exactly. And the thing is, though, they die on Everest. They die all the time.
Now, isn't there a collection of so many bodies? Because once you die up there, there's no way to get the bodies down.
Yeah, because there's hundreds of bodies up there. Because it's also, the air is thin, and you get disoriented. And
it's freezing, so the bodies don't decompose because they're so frozen and above.
So there's hundreds of bodies up there, but it seems like, but it does. I can see where people do want to explore. That would have been if it was before anybody did. I could see it's capturing humans do want to go and conquer stuff and go to different lands, I guess. And
it's almost the social media age. If someone just wants a picture of themselves at the top of Mount Everest so that they can post on Instagram and get likes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of for this,
Yeah, it is kind of like
But back in the day, I would imagine climbing Everest would have been a completely spiritual experience where you'd probably just spend years dedicating to training, to navigating, probably trying, failing,
yeah.
and then finally getting there. Whereas now, the idea that you're just kind of get a Sherpa or get some sort of, you're doing it, but you're not doing it. Yeah, you're being helped kind of artificially in ways.
Yeah, and it's just to me, it just seems like it drives me nuts because I watch all these things where people go up there and they won't listen to the Sherpas, or they'll go up half trained. Like, you really do have to be trained.
Well, yeah, imagine going there and not listening to the Sherpas. The type of people that goes up there probably deserve to be left up there.
There are cases of people who would do that, who would they just wouldn't listen to their Sherpa, or they thought they knew better, or they were like just arrogant to the Sherpas.
You're climbing Everest and you think you know better than the Sherpas.
Yeah. And there is a case of like this female, she was an influencer, and she just thought she knew better, and she just would sit there and complain about her Sherpa. Meanwhile, she was. It's weird because there's a whole communities of people going up the mountain. There's like you, and there's like 50 people above you, and there's like groups.
Yeah, so it mentions a very kind of corporatized experience now.
Yeah.
They probably have pre-designated paths with the walking ropes. Like, it's probably all set up where it's like, imagine actually trying to climb it with nothing. You're literally just trying to do it. You're paving your own path.
Yeah. And it was just but that was another thing I was watching. It's just like so folks, don't do mountain climbing in Everest. Take that off your list.
If you do, listen to your Sherpa.
Yeah, if you do, and actually, if you're going to go to Nepal, there's a lot better things. Oh, Nepal, fantastic country. There are rhinos in Nepal. Did you know that? They're like a different species of rhino, but they're cute. They're rhinos. They're nice.
I kind of want a Buddhist sky burial. That's how I want to. Because we were talking about before we started the show, wills, and right. You have to have a will,
Eaten by a bird.
trust. Then you also need to people have directions of what they want done with their body.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I was open up to me is that the Buddhists in Tibet, they do sky burials where they just will leave their corpse on the top of a mountain, and the corpse just gets torn up by bears and wolves and vultures. And I guess there's just whole areas of scattered bones, but it's actually kind of spiritual because it's like you're bringing your body back up to the earth.
Yeah.
Apparently there's scary places too, the burial places. There's just, you just leave bodies out in the open.
Yeah, I would be creeped out by that after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sounds very spiritual.
Yeah. Because you literally are eaten by birds who go up into heaven and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently there's nasty creatures too that hang out there. I don't know. It just sounds. I don't know, the whole modern burial experience where you pay. First of all, your body's owned by the hospital if you pass away there, and then the whole. Got to pay for a casket. You got to pay for a burial plot.
Yeah.
Probably maintenance fees.
Yeah.
Or even think there's some Native American cultures that they were like somewhat nomadic, so they might move campsites every 10 years.
Yeah.
And when they would do that, every 10 years, they would actually dig up the bones of their ancestors and carry the bones of their ancestors with them to their new site.
Yeah.
It's just like a completely different, right? They're human beings, but a completely different conception of dead bodies, and the idea that they would just literally carry the bones of their ancestors that they dig up in the ground is like just something that doesn't mesh with kind of the modern view on death.
I wouldn't be into that. I wouldn't be like, oh, we gotta go. Let's go get Grandma's bones.
But the thing is, like, to our culture, we are creeped out by that, but their culture was completely. They probably couldn't imagine leaving a spot and not doing that. So it's just. And I think somebody good point of like humans are all software. The reason we've evolved good is like, right, our hardware is not spectacular. We don't run very fast.
Yeah.
Although we can run far.
Yeah.
Right. We can't. Yeah. Good luck outrunning a grizzly or wrestling a bear.
The claws really don't work that much. We can scratch ourselves.
Any sort of physical metric where our body hardware, right? We're not tardigrades. We decompose, but the reason we've evolved is because we are our software. We are the software. How we think, how we operate is completely malleable to our whether we're right an Inuit in the North Pole, or we're an Amazon tribe on the Amazon, or we're a bureaucratic worker in New York City working in office. We have software that allows us to survive in whole different environments. There's really no other animal is able to adapt to all these different environments the way humans are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
Just interesting. Yeah, if our software had been programmed in these cultures, we would be digging up grandma's bones and
Yeah.
carrying them. But to us, it's like that's super weird. And
yeah. Yeah, there are other cultures that they deal differently with the dead and stuff, and I have heard too. Like there's ones where they cannibalize,
yeah,
which
which
to me
is.
is like
Then I think there's even some tribes in the Amazon where, to our eye, if we saw them, like those are the same people. But in their eyes, like they live on opposite sides of the river,
Yeah.
and the one tribe literally views the people across the side of the river as like not even human beings, like a different species.
Yeah.
Because that's where the cannibalism comes in. They don't think they're eating humans; they think they're eating like a completely
Yeah.
different species. But
yeah,
to a Western eye, those are the exact same people.
yeah, yeah,
So it just seems even prejudice is like hardwired into us.
yeah, which is too
somehow.
bad.
'Cause, it's the Sunnis and the Shiites, right? It's the Protestants and the Catholics.
Yeah.
So even even people that agree on the same thing, like
what
are always finding differences.
What is that
between
called? The something of small differences. It came. There's a term for that.
Yeah.
The tyranny of small differences. Like people like in the same town could be like exactly alike, but the town could be like, oh, they're West Siders,
Yeah.
or they're like that could be like those goddamn like as Americans too. Like we hate like MAGA liberals and conservatives hate each other, even though we're very much.
We're both Americans, right? We're both Americans, but the left and the right Americans, and it's kind of everywhere. I think it's part of the feature of humans. It's probably how we survived. I think when we were living in tribes, right? It's good to like love and defend your tribe passionately against any sort of outside of invader.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the modern times, it's 2026. We need new software for this new age because we have our hardware is not cut up to the digital world.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But let's see what else is
the Sabres are
The
in
Sabres.
the playoffs.
They're playing- and over
What do you
the-
think? Do you have Sabres fever? Or
I
are you
do.
still-
I'm starting to get it.
You're starting to get the fever.
I'm starting to get it. Gosh darn it! Next game, I'm gonna watch the next game.
Yeah, they're leading 1-0 after one period.
Ooh, go
If
team!
we win today, we win the series. So go team.
Go team! Go team! Go sports!
Yeah, it's nothing like a good bandwagon fan because what do the Sabres? What do they mean to you in your psyche? Or is it just a random sports team that plays here? Do you have any?
It is in my psyche because growing up, I remember collecting stickers and cards, and the logo. The logo is like the flag to me.
Yeah,
It is like looking at the logo. The Sabres logo is like looking at the flag or the cross in my mind. It's imprinted on me.
yeah,
Like especially the original, like the cross Sabres.
yeah.
It's like
No, it's a good logo, good color scheme. Even blue and yellow. I was trying to wear blue and yellow as a good primary colors.
Yeah.
There's also folklore. I don't know if you've seen. Have you heard of the Buffalo Blade Gang?
No.
There's these guys that are dressing up in full gear, head to toe in hockey gear,
Yeah.
wearing the rollerblades, and they're beating up mannequins. And they kind of become viral. But there's a part of the folklore. It's the fandom.
okay.
That adds to this. Yeah, Buffalo's unique fan base of we have this group of guys that are showing up and
Well,
they're
I'm-
kind of becoming this viral sensation.
Well, I'm glad they're only beating up mannequins.
Yeah,
This is-
but they're beating mannequins dressed in the opposing team's uniforms.
Oh, okay. That's
So it's kind of a way of how our culture or tribe is expressing themselves.
That's how we should do violence. Don't actually hurt the actual people, folks.
Yeah.
Okay? So just mannequins. Computer violence is fine.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
we
with
believe in
computer
world
violence.
peace.
World
Part
peace.
of our vision here is to usher in an era of world peace via
Yeah.
small talk and big thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, have you heard of the Phantom Sign Makers?
no.
They're a part of Buffalo Sabres folklore.
Oh, whoa.
So yeah, the Phantom Sign Makers were a group of fans that at the old Buffalo Auditorium.
Yeah.
Apparently there was different sections. Like the orange section was the section at the top of the arena.
Yeah.
Extremely steep. And this group called the Phantom Sign Makers, they would make signs at every game. So every game you'd show up and they'd have different signs that they'd hang over the edge of the top section.
Yeah.
And they were dedicated. So they had very kind of punny, kind of sarcastic comments. And they used. Are you familiar with Taro Sugimoto?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Taro Sugimoto was the first Japanese hockey player.
Hockey player. Oh.
But he was fake. He wasn't. It was a prank. So what the Phantom Sign Makers, a lot of their signs, they would say Taro says, and then a statement. So they might say Taro says we want the cup, or Taro says, Yeah, we down with the Bruins, or they might reference a player, or they might
The
say
Bruins.
Taro says Jack Eichel's a sellout, and that would so each game they'd write their own signs that they'd hang over the front. That's a part of Sabres folklore.
Yeah.
I think the Blade Gang is kind of speaking to.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
part
Oh,
of.
wow. Good old Sabres. I hope we do good.
Yeah, go team.
Yeah. It would be so great if the city actually won a
Won
championship.
something, yeah.
Won something.
That sounds like a shirt slogan.
Yes.
Taro
It-
says,
Yeah.
we want to win one time.
Yeah. We do, and folks, I do have a shirt related to the Super Bowl. You know, go to stores and buy it.
Yeah. Hey, how are things on the infringement front?
Oh, that's right, folks. I am working with the infringement.
You
and-
are infringement.
As a matter of fact, I am infringement. And so, hey, Facebook me if you have any ideas or you want to participate. It looks like a lot of us are going to maybe have a group show at one place. But I'm going to try. What I want to try to do is get people, maybe some people, if they could get at different cafes.
Yeah. So you're like an actual organizer. It's on you to get the events going.
I'm an actual organizer, I guess, and I'm working like we meet and we try to
Talk about things?
Yeah, and we've actually here's the big news, folks. We have split in certain people. Our buddy Kurt, he split off.
Well, there's re-infringement. But I saw
Yeah, it's
the
re-infringement.
re-infringement group had a event recently. So
they're doing better than us.
So
Yeah,
they're different than the infringement. The
Yeah.
re-infringement.
that's so they're organizing. Oh, and who's going to do better than the other one? Like, oh, we're such a
Well, again, coming to our points of the tyranny of small changes.
Yes.
Somehow they're within the infringement community.
Yes.
All the weird artists who
yes.
are weird and should all get along because the rest of society.
Because they are other now. They are other because
Yeah.
Kurt is over there and we're another group.
Well, it's funny.
But Kurt, I like you if you're listening. I like.
Well, it's just
Kurt.
funny. I think it speaks to the larger, even religions, right? Somebody says this is BS, they break off, and then people from the original group follow them, and then you have fracturing, and
Yeah,
that's kind of how groups form. I mean, it's,
yeah.
how religions formed, right? I think from when I heard Muhammad kind of broke off, there's a lot of frustration with how Jesus' message was being taught. So then, the Muslims forked off and made a thing, which is similar. In Christianity, is a fork of Judaism because they believe in the same God. So it's just like, just how.
They always fork it off.
I think there's the quote: "The only thing constant is change." So it kind of is that like there is no, right? There's no Americans. Americans is a term that's always changing. Over time. Space.
And by the way, Americans. Most of the people are American. I'm assuming I know the people Nick, you're on a country, but I know our Hindu friends and our people in India and China.
Nick's world said he's American.
Yeah. Oh, good
I think
for
he's
you.
from
Okay.
Georgia.
Oh, good. Oh, okay, Georgia. But American. But I know there's people in the despair. There's people in Ireland. They're watching us right now. Ireland.
They're looking at just for moral leadership.
Burkina Faso, hey brothers.
Tokyo Katanas.
But I gotta tell us, Americans, we got to get over ourselves. Okay,
Yeah.
we do. Also, World War II. That was like 80 years ago, and we had nothing to do with it.
That's kind of, I think, right? America won World War II. We've been, living off the good times from that, and we have a population that had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it. They will talk about it.
It's completely ignorant, but I don't think people talk about it. People don't even realize, what the reality that was so good that we're in now is just because we won World War II. If we had lost that, it wouldn't be so good.
Yeah.
And I think people don't, right?
Yeah. And it seemed like the people, that generation, they deserve credit, that generation, but we're not that. We're not a bunch of people who really sacrificed and.
There's this strong men make strong times. Weak times make weak men. Weak men make weak times. Weak times make strong men.
Yeah.
Strong men make strong times. So there's like a whole cycle.
Yeah.
This is coming back to the fourth turning example of we're in this churning of history that because all the people that remember the old world order of World War II, it's part of what like Iran, right? Iran, Russia, BRICS. There's all these countries that don't like the World War II system anymore and want to and are working actively to destroy it to create a new system. And we're kind of in this. It's very clear we're in this transition moment of the old world order is gone. Maybe it isn't in most people's psyche that it's not coming back, but the golden days are behind us. We might be entering a new golden era, but the status quo is no longer status.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows what will be like. I'm just hoping that
'Cause, yeah, things are getting really weird now.
They're getting
I think,
really weird.
I feel like 2025 was like, oh, things are getting weird, but it's still kind of the same. Now it's like, oh, we are in this weird, bizarre era of.
I know. I'm hoping for our president to pass away.
Well, even there was that assassination attempt.
Yeah.
Was it this week? And it's like
Yeah.
not even in the news. It's like, I think it's interesting with our world circle of like, we were on the brink of nuclear war, and then it's just out of the news cycle in 2 days. So it's like,
Yeah.
Even in the past, it seems like there used to be like long news eras where now it's like,
Well,
the news cycle
thing
is
is,
2 days. And
that is because of Donald Trump, and it's not normal. It's not normal to have a president doing this drama, and you can't sit there and say, "Oh, Hillary would be doing the exact same thing." No, you can't. I'm kind of like, I don't like the idea of people shitting in their own pants and then pointing at other people. And go, you do the same thing. No,
I think
it's
there's
not the same. This
I think
is
it's-
all
yeah,
created.
Trump clearly knows
by
the
someone
media,
else.
right? He's been a media
Yeah.
glitz and glam guy his whole life, so he knows
Yeah.
better than anyone how to manipulate, the news media cycle.
Yeah.
I think even it's this larger brain rot of TikTok culture of like people can't even watch
Yeah.
a 3-hour documentary. They need 30 seconds, if that, and everything's
Yeah.
quick. So yeah, it's just I think it's these forces
It
right
is
that
tough.
our hardware isn't built. It wasn't designed for of digital. The fact that we have all this information, all this news at our
Yeah.
fingertips, and everything's very quick.
It,
It's like
yeah.
fast food. Everything's fast food.
Yeah, and I'm slightly different than you. The way you consume stuff and interact with, and the people younger than us are even on a whole different level of
Yeah.
like.
That's what, as I've been now in my mid-30s, it's like, oh, I'm not even. I'm used to being like the young person, but it's like, oh, I was like a whole generation behind me that I don't even really understand. Because at least I feel fortunate that my brain was able to develop in like I remember the world before computers.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
like now a kid born today is like most
They
kids.
don't know anything else.
Oh, you're a 2-year-old. You're crying. Here's a tablet. Play flying monkeys. Play this game. And so
Yeah.
what that does to your brain, and then let alone, what does if you're? I'm addicted to my TikToks, right? The
Yeah,
video. So if
I'm
you're
addicted.
if your brain is getting that from the age of 3,
Yeah,
what do you? The idea of an attention span of like, I don't know. It's funny because I think the people that are being born now are going to be so radically different, and let alone the world is going to be completely different, right?
yeah. I'm trying to get back into reading right now, and it's like
I think it's good. Reading, writing. I'm trying to maintain my cursive. So I make
good
it.
for you. Yeah.
I actually try to write when I do hand notes in cursive and maintain that.
cursive is a fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also trying to be hip. I kind of want to make friends with younger people, and
good.
I want to stay on the edge of what the youngins are up to.
Oddly enough, you know what? Young people like me. Younger guys at work like me. I don't know why. They're like, oh, hey,
yeah, you're not an everyday. And I think it takes a special skill set to be. That's where I feel weird because I'm like between the boomers and the the
yeah.
zoomers.
Yeah.
So the boomers and the zoomers, they really don't like each other. But I can kind of sit in the middle and understand the boomer perspective and the zoomer perspective.
I'm odd in that I kind of rejected the group I was born into.
Yeah.
My decade or my generation. But my school was so bizarre because we were 10 years behind what was going on. Like I grew up in the 80s, but every my school it was like
Old.
they were thinking, they all thought like bitter middle-aged people, and their taste, it was all like classic rock. That's all people listened to. Like they listened to Zeppelin and you know and music like that was like popular 10 years ago, like during the 80s. Like nobody like
a lag.
Like I remember like one time somebody brought like a Prince album on the bus, and they were like, "That's gay, yeah, that sucks," and like that was how my generation. Oh yeah, and people would they would do the homophobic.
I think the COVID, how much that was like. That's like for me in my life. It's like 9/11.
Cold.
And probably COVID are the two markers of like, oh, the world's fundamentally different after this moment. Like, even 2019, it just feels like, oh, that was like nostalgia a bit. Like that was kind of, I don't know.
It seemed, our social lives were more like my social life was really, or it seemed there was more of a community in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like our community, it seemed like we're just kind of pasting it back together.
Even a couple Fridays ago, I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to go out and try to watch some live music. Let me go down Allen Street. And I was walking around Allen Street at like 10 o'clock on a Friday, and it was like a ghost town. And I was like, oh, like the whole. And I've seen some reporting on this of like essentially back in the day in the 80s, right? It was a Friday night. The bar in my corner, you're competing against the bar at that corner and the bar over there on the street. But everyone's out having fun. Whereas now these bars and restaurants, they're still competing against the other bars, but they're also competing against Netflix and YouTube. And, Roku and everything.
Yeah.
So you're competing against people even getting out of the house. So it's crazy because it really struck me. I was like, oh, isn't like, it's people go out, but it's really not. It's not like maybe it's different, but it was just, I think that was my first of like, oh, this isn't, I just used to thinking, oh, people go out on a Friday night and there's things going on, but there is, but it's also way muted than after the pandemic, because like a lot of people that would have been customers at a bar on a Friday night are now staying home and watching Netflix because Game of Thrones season 8's on and I haven't watched it, so it's I think you're even seeing trends among young people of actually drinking is like not becoming. Young kids don't drink, so it's like there's kind of these social patterns that, I
was amazed with your generation what goodies you were. Like, I was a horrible person when growing up. I had no reason to be.
Yeah. I think now kids don't even drink. So it's like, there's certain things of the whole industry's, you see demographic change, which I think is interesting of how will the demographic changes affect things that we take for granted now. We just assume, there's a bar industry, but if young people stop drinking, there goes the demand. Like, there's actual demand that's drying up.
That's probably for the good, I guess. I guess.
Yeah, I think it's good and bad, but also like my mechanic on my car, I had a 1977 van, and he fixed the transmission in my car, and he ran himself over, and he's an old school mechanic, and there's not.
He ran himself over.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate story, but I think the story is like that guy ran himself over. There's no young Zoomer mechanic that knows how to turn a wrench on a 97 van. So like, I think it's a sort of thing of like, this is happening every day. We're losing people that
and experiences
that have knowledge that isn't. There's no all the young kids want to be TikTokers and streamers. They don't want to pour concrete or be a plumber. So it's like, and there's just a dearth of of this old knowledge, or even Gamelan, there's this documentary of the puppet show, this ancient puppet making skill, which is a very niche artisan skill of you kill this baby water buffalo, you take its hide, you dry it over this process. But there's all sorts of artisan skills, right? Traditional education might have been not higher education with student loan debt, but it was, you're John, you're interested in being a carpenter, you go, and from the ages of 13 to 20, you work under a master carpenter, he teaches you his trade, and then you do your own thing. So there's actual, how we even learn is like not the same, because now we just have this the student debt industrial complex that doesn't really wasn't really about teaching kids useful skills. It was more a money laundering operation for the elites that run our institutions.
But that's another thing. Education became insane how expensive it got.
It's crazy the amount of scams, right? There's the higher education industrial complex, the medical system industrial complex, the mental health industrial complex. There's all these things that are, I think, ultimately, it feels like we're in the Soviet Union. I always wondered, what was the Soviet Union like in 1985? Like, did they know it was collapsing? And I kind of feel that's where we are now. We kind of know the society's collapsing. It hasn't collapsed fully yet.
I wouldn't. Well, I don't. We're ahead. We have to change. I don't think. Ideally,
we're gonna have a set of rational thinkers in our Congress that set forward some stepwise changes, or is it going to be a collapse, and that collapse then forces the reset?
I hope there isn't a big collapse. I mean, like, this is like this election come up. People got to get out there, and they gotta, but like the Soviet Union, that went down. That went down like a thing of bricks, and it was like the money wasn't there, like, because they were just doing stuff like people would lie, like where I work. You got to make a product, whereas in the Soviet Union, people would make and say, "We are doing very good."
It's I have the joke that our whole economy here. I mean, there is Tesla, but the Tesla is the anomaly. There's lots of bureaucry, and our economy is government kind of paper pushers that probably admit in their souls that they're not making anything. But that's where the money. I don't know, because now our money has value. What happens if it doesn't?
That's the thing. I think. These are. I mean. My mantra is Trump bad. I just gotta say that. He's not making any good decisions.
Yeah,
He's,
I think right there's this change that's coming to the American. We've been dominating the world since World War II. We've been this major superpower. That was changing, and I think Trump is just accelerating or changing how that was changed because the whole burning bridges with our allies, expedites this process that was maybe underway already.
Yeah, this one commentary, he put it this way. He said, Trump and also MAGA itself is a lot like a person who inherited a business from his family, a good, successful business. Like the fathers and grandfathers worked hard. They put in all these things that helped the business go and made all these weird little things that they understood. But then the kid comes along and he doesn't understand how anything works. He's like, get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And he doesn't understand all these things help us work as a world power. And that's what Trump is doing. He's like, oh, F with NATO, get rid of, like aid to Africa. Get rid of all these other little things, like the whole, what he did with Doge. It was all just getting rid of all this stuff that's important that we need. And, unfortunately, I think that's, I feel bad. I just hope we don't. I hope I'm wrong. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That I am wrong.
Well, because they're kind of directionally right? I think it's the U.S. military that's failed. Like, they failed multiple trillion-dollar audits. So it's like, it's known, it's a fact that the government is trillions of dollars. They have no way to account for it. So there is this fraud. But, that's where you kind of, the MAGA movement and what they've kind of done is almost coming with the bulldozer, blow everything up. But what you really needed was a very surgical, okay, this is a load-bearing support wall. We can't take this out. We're going to take out this stuff. And
Actually, I wish I would have studied Doge better. Because did Doge get into the military budget at all, or was it
I think
all
Trump
just...
actually ended up increasing the military budget.
Yeah,
Yeah. Who's the government auditors at the Pentagon? So there's just trillions of dollars going to waste, and even the money that they can track, right? It's all going overseas to rebuild. And part of the MAGA movement is the idea of make America great again, even put America first. So a lot of American resources go around the world to not really supporting ultimately the American worker, the normal American person. Which is why this war in the Middle East is so disappointing. Is that I think Americans agree on one thing. It's like we hate these forever wars in the Middle East, and you kind of go right back in it after the debacle of the going out of Afghanistan and leaving everything there. Even there, at least in Iraq, they tried doing this whole propaganda campaign against weapons of mass destruction. This one they just went into it and said, we're doing this. We're not going to try to get the American people.
Well, that was him having a kindergarten level of governance of that was being talked into it. Like they talked into it by the Israelis. He surrounded himself with people who will enable him to do stupid things and not even that's why they're saying one of the things that point out by these assassination attempts, they're all incompetent. They're all just it's a bunch of it's all these are the C and D level team people. Because if you're a competent person, you're not going to work in the Trump administration.
Well, I mean, just the fact that Jared Kushner is one of the people who's not elected in any capacity. The son-in-law is making deals.
And Cash Patel, the guy's he's down in beers with the hockey team.
Well, I think that part of the I think as you get older, part of it is just realizing the propaganda you were taught as a kid, whether it's the idea of democracy and we representatives that care and think about me and weigh decisions harshly. And just the idea that we have people in charge that aren't really thinking deeply about the actions they take and how it affects the future when, the decisions today are going to ripple across history and future generations.
But I hope I'm wrong about all this. I hope we're able to get through this.
Well, ultimately you need, and that's kind of why I think the fourth churning theory, the idea that history changes, it's kind of right, we realize the world's in a bad place, but you need winter to clear the way for a new spring. So you can't just you can't be summer all the time. You need a sort of reshuffling of the deck, and it's as painful as in the moment. I just try to keep myself optimistic that maybe it will get better, because I don't think we're moving in bad or good. We're moving in 1,000 different directions at once. We have 2 minutes left.
All right.
So I want to close with the Buffalo Contrarian.
Yes.
Buffalo's newest alternative newspaper. Pick up
yes.
yours
Yeah.
somewhere near you. And I'm a paper boy, so if you want one or you have a good location
Yeah.
to you think this might be a good spot, let me know. And I am ultimately a paper boy. So now
Yeah.
I'm a writer. Yeah. You know, we're jack of all trades at the Contrarian. I'm a
Yes.
paper boy now. I was a writer. I'm a gonzo journalist, provocateuring the city's corporation council.
Yeah.
And Lisa Yeager, who has committed federal tax fraud and somehow is still allowed to. I get fired, but she gets to be corporation counsel. So it's kind of the world. And yeah, thank you, Marianne. Looking forward to New Spring. Yes.
Yeah.
We like to end our notes on
Yeah.
the
New
darkest
spring.
hours before the dawn. And yeah,
Yeah,
spring,
that's a good point.
yeah, we need spring. And I think with the weather turning and spring coming out, I am up and chipper. And I think, all Buffalonians, we become up and chipper in the springtime because we're getting out of our seasonal winter depression.
Exactly. We're gonna get out of it. We're gonna grow stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
mushrooms and tomatoes.
Tomatoes and garlic. I got a bunch of garlic coming
string
up.
beans.
String beans even. Yeah, I know. And I'm going to, hopefully my plumber could, or not my plumber, my heating guy,
Yeah.
good old Steve, could
I want to get into hydroponics and get my greenhouse going this year. That's
Ooh,
my
nice.
spring year resolution.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I own a fish now too. I have a
Oh,
fish
your
tank.
fishes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I hope they live. You know,
Same, yeah. They're mostly living. But they're still under warranty.
they're like goldfish, right? Or
Yeah, they're kind of I think,
Baitfish?
something tetra, black tetra, and a
oh,
marigold. They look like little.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Any last parting words for our viewers?
don't climb Mount Everest.
Listen to your Sherpas
Listen to your Sherpas. Jimmy Savile bad.
and go Sabres. It's now
Yeah, go
tied,
Sabres.
unfortunately. So
Sorry.
hopefully we can get out of here and get a win. And go Sabres.
Yeah.
Fading to black.
Yeah.
Thank you, Think Twice Radio. Till next
you.
time.
Bye.
Small Talk with Matt and John.
Yeah.
Over and out.